All right, good evening and welcome to Franchise Time Machine. Tonight we're going to be revealing part of our roster for the all-time greatest not safe for work. So we're going to have, so far it looks like I think we have 24 picks, and I think I'm going to try to get to 26 batters so we can have 50 people on our roster and our reserves. Why are there two Mariner legends on the slide, Max? I will admit the Mariners are my West Coast American League team. I grew up a Mets fan. I'm still a Mets fan. But when I moved to Seattle, I decided I could add I could add an AL West team without having too much conflict. And until recently, it didn't seem like there'd be any conflict. I didn't think they would ever run into each other in the World Series. But yeah, in fact, if I had a little more time, I could have gone back through my old uh, memory cards and hard drives and probably found a Charlie Furbush picture that I'd taken myself from the third base side because I have plenty of them. And that's a little spoiler about who's to come. All right, so I did want to start with. Oh yeah, hold on. I'm going to switch over to the presentation slides. You saw Fister pitch in Tacoma in AAA. Oh, that's awesome. Where is the AAA stadium in Tacoma? I spent quite a bit of time there, so I kind of know the layout of the city. All right, so I have I'm switching the slides. Hey, Cheeky, what's up? Welcome. So we do the roster reel, the pitchers tonight. We'll do the batters tomorrow, and then if all goes well, I'll be simming on Sunday. You can't miss the stadium from the highway. Oh, did they didn't they played in, did they play in the dome? They didn't play in the Tacoma Dome, did they? I think that was big enough for a. So real quick, I thought I'd go over some recent streams in case people want to check them out. Most recently, we did a weird one, which was players who've lost fingers. Added 5 of them to the 2023 Mets to see what would happen. Before that, we had the Willie Mays tribute sim where I took 4 peak Willie Mayses and added them to the 2023 Mets. And then before that was the Kitties and Steebs sim where the entire roster was all versions of Kitty Bransfield or Dave Steeb. That was actually the worst performing sim we've ever done. And then before that was the all-time fathers and sons. So major leaguers where the father and son both played. We took their peak seasons and put them together on a team. And that was one of the highest scoring sims we've ever done. So Max telling me how I can find the Tacoma AAA field. Take I-5 south to SR-16. Okay. It's past the eyesore that is the Tacoma Dome. Hey, Dr. Dynastic in the chat. Welcome. We're about to unveil our pitchers for the all-time greatest not safe for work names team. So I did want to remind everyone of the ground rules for my stream. the names are going to be funny. The names are a little risque, but I would still like for us to adhere to the rules of no profanity, no discriminatory language. And if you have suggestions, I'm wide open to them. But hopefully, you can submit them in the Discord because that way I don't have to try to keep track of the chat as closely while we go through this. And I don't want to lose any good ideas. And again, today's just pictures. So if you have hitter suggestions, check out tomorrow's stream or the VOD. And if I missed anyone, by all means, please let me know. But I think everyone does a good job. I've noticed in the community of managing to be funny and maybe even suggestive without being outright profane. So I just wanted to put that out there before we dive in. Okay, so I've got 24 pictures, I think, tonight. And we're just going to go right into it. Um, I did want to kind of preface this by saying there are some names that were almost too easy. So, like Dick is the low hanging fruit of dirty names. So I only chose ones where it was paired with a last name that kind of heightens the effect in order for it to qualify. The same goes for some last names that you'll see too. So, with that said, I've got the first one queued up and ready to go. Um, there were actually several players with this last name, and none of them had ever made it to the major. So they all played minor league baseball. And you might wonder why I picked this one, Mark Beavers. And it's because he is the only one who played for the Red Wave. So I thought the combination of Beavers and Red Wave was worth adding to the team. So he is our first pitcher, right-handed pitcher, Mark Beavers. This next player, please explain. Oh, I forgot if I advance them on here, they advance on the thing. Um, this next player is in the game. He's in PT 25, and at first I thought I was kind of on the fence on the last name. Um, but when I saw the picture, I knew this was a must add. So this is Gene Brabender. I don't know what bra bending is, but it sounds like something that would probably be dirty. And then paired with this pick, I was like, yeah, he's definitely in. Okay, our next pitcher, I like to think would be confusing to the league office when the injury reports come in. Because the league office is going to be wondering, okay, they listed this player's condition, but not his name. So they have to call back to the team and say, okay, who has this condition? They say, oh, no, it's the player, not a condition. And his name is Dick Burns. Dr. Daneg says, I think you can work the cycle somewhere into the Beavers and Red Wave combo. That is a good one, Dr. Dynastic. So we have Dick Burns. And there's another example of not any old Dick gets on the team, but when you have it paired with Dick Burns, you're an instant addition to the roster. Same could be said for this next pair of pitchers, or not players. Um, this is supposed to be the pitcher. Max says, not a comment to say to your other half and live to tell about it. So this is the one exception to the pitchers only revealed today is one batter got in because he shares a last name with one of the pitchers that were rolling out today. So Cheeky says that he and a coworker were coming up with names of sex positions and came up with the non-blocker. Has to do with a belt and a woman's head. That is all. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Uh, so this is more of the last name equivalent of Dick, where it's I think the name alone I don't think qualifies, but I think for both of them, I think the first name combo warranted addition to the roster. For the first one, it's the gendering of the last name I thought was interesting, and for the second one, it's the name Randy, which means sexually aroused or excited. So I give you Guy Bush and Randy Bush. Okay, this next one I think is a no-brainer. And if you were here for the beginning and saw the title slide, Max asking if there are two birds in the bush. This next one was actually one of the first names I thought of when I was thinking about doing this. So it's an instant ad, and if you were here in the beginning and saw the title slide, you know he's on the team, and that would be Doug Fister. Okay, this next player, I was when I was doing the research on this, I found that apparently he's changed and now goes by the first name Richard. But I checked with my friend who lives in Massachusetts and is a Red Sox fan, and he said that this player definitely did go by the first name Dix at one point. So Dr. Donati says Fister really pounds the zone. So I am assured that this player at some point did go by the first name Dick. So I give you minor league pitcher, and I hope we can find his stats because I would like to have him on the team. Dick Fitz. Cheeky asking, does it though? Okay, this next player, his name is actually not at all dirty if pronounced correctly, but I think we all know how difficult that can be for some of the streamers in this community. So I do think this player deserves to be on the roster. I give you Charlie Fuchs. If Dick Fitz and Doug Fister are going on the same day, I'd recommend Dick first, Fister second. Amazing. Hey, I don't know if everyone was on here when Max and I were chatting about this, but this is a person I've actually seen pitch in person. Um, and every time he pitched, I happened to be sitting on the third base side, and he's a left-hander, so I always got a full view of the back of his jersey and got lots of good pictures of his name. That would be left-handed reliever Charlie Furbush. And I'm amazed he didn't have the best-selling jersey in the majors. All right, now this next player, I think he was going to be an automatic addition just based on his first name. But then what really did it was when I found one of his photos. And it could just as easily been a photo of a ball player from the 1870s or an adult film star from the 1970s. Our next picture is Pud Galvin. And check out that stash. All right, our next pitcher, when I found his name, I tried to find other pitchers to maybe bring in with him. Unfortunately, I couldn't find anyone named Deeper or Faster, but we do have Mel Harder. Max asking, who's the unfortunate soul who has to follow this bit? Okay. So there are some things that I'm okay finding a deal on, but for some things, I think maybe you don't want to go bargain hunting. For example, the case of Buck Hooker. He still better than his sister Penny. Oh, that was good. All right, for our, I again, we're going back to the dicks here. Of course, tons of major leaguers with the name Dick, so you really have to have a good last name to get on this team. And with this one, I'm sure there's some sort of hide the salami type of joke to be made here, but I give you Dick Hyde. And if his name wasn't enough, when I saw the picture, he was an instant addition. All right, on to our next picture here. So I don't know if everyone will get this, but I did consider pairing up this pitcher with Bull Smith, who pitched from 1904 to 1906. I give you Johnny Cucks. Cheeky asking what his wife looks like. Oh. See, I knew you guys could keep it clean and still be funny. Asking for a friend. All right, for our next one, again, this is another one where if you pronounce it correctly, it's not a problem. Um, and this one also lacks the perfect first name to go with it, like a certain outfielder with a similar but slightly differently spelled last name. We have pitcher Eddie Kuntz, and that gives you a hint of one of the batters you'll be seeing tomorrow. Slightly differently spelled last name with a much better first name. Yeah, if pronunciation is important on this team, we might want to keep Laptop Hound away from this team. That's correct. All right, for the next one, and we have a couple of these on the roster from the Department of Redundancy Department. We have Dick Manville. And then our next pitcher, I was on the fence about because I wasn't quite sure the name gets in, but when I thought about it, I can't remember. They're doing a mic check and they go, testes, testes. One, two, three. We have Trey McNutt. All right, up next we have another pair of pitchers with the same last name but unrelated. One's left-handed, one's right-handed. And when you put a roster like this together, you can never have enough left-handed pitchers. They are hard to find, so we're going to take everyone we can. And also, we're going to take them both because you can always use Moorhead. Dave and Seth Moorhead. Welcome to the Then our next player, I don't think really requires any explanation for why he's going to make this roster. But, well, I don't know about shut down with the Red Wave. I think maybe an alternative to the Red Wave. Oh, sorry, is my mic cutting out? I don't know what I can do to change that. But if not just on the strength of the name alone, I think this picture also would 100% get this player in. Dick Pole with the sweet mustache to boot. All right, this next player is the answer to the question, what time is it? What time is it? It's sex hour. Elmer Sex Hour. Automod does love you, Max. All right, this next one is an auto pick for the roster if you know what the slang last name what the last name means in slang terms or urban dictionary terms. Um, I'll put the person up and then I'll tell you the story. It is PT24 legend Urban Shocker. Um, but what this reminds me of is when I'd be watching Wichita State in the NCAA tournament when they were making like deep runs in the tournament. Anytime the camera cut to their cheerleaders, like they were going to commercial, the cheerleaders would hold up their hands like in the shocker configuration. And I was like, man, their parents must be so proud. I don't know if we have a PT25 Urban Shocker yet, but cheeky, that is correct. You are adhering to my rules, which I appreciate, but I'm not going to read that one out loud. All right. Now, this next one did make me wonder what his ancestors were doing to earn this surname. Well, we have dead ball era pitcher Bert Sincock. Oh, you're fine, Shiki. The rules were just no profanity, no discriminatory language, and if you have any, uh, yeah, I thought this was like the Shroud of Sincock. It looks like you just found it on a dirty blanket or a piece of toast. Just this image burned into a piece of toast. Oh, you said he needs Jesus. I thought of the Shroud of Turin when I saw this picture because it's like barely a picture. All right, and our next one, I think we had in PT24, but it's Liddell Cannonball Titcomb. I'm actually hoping I couldn't find a pronunciation, but I'm actually hoping it's pronounced Titcomb because then it's kind of like a double point there. Triggering Automod is absolutely allowed. I think Automod's a little overly sensitive, so that's fine. All right, this next picture, as you've seen in other streams, the effectiveness of this player's card in PT25 has led to lots of humorous, inadvertent quotes and clips. And anyone who plays bronze tournaments or lower level drafts can't get enough Wang. Chen Ming Wang, welcome to the roster. Now, on the pitcher side, this is going to be the last Dick who gets selected to the roster. I think we might have some more on the batter side. But this one, again, gets elevated by the last name. But it also kind of forms a partial sentence that my brain wants to keep filling in the rest of. It is pitcher Dick Wants. I mean, I guess it could be a statement, Dick Wants. But I just keep wondering, like, what the next word. All right, and that brings us to our last pitcher, last but not least, with his woodblock print portrait, Fred Woodcock. Oh, Cheeky's got to attend to a PD draft. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for attending our pitcher reveal. I'm gonna do the same thing tomorrow, but with the batters. Now, I don't know if anyone wants to bother sticking around, but what I'm gonna do now is um, create the roster import text file. So that's the file where I take their player ID. Let me see if I can find one to show you. Yeah, I'm gonna make this equivalent for this roster. So like Fred Woodcock would probably be WODCFR01, and then the year and the team name. But that's nowhere near as fun as the roster reveal. But I have to do it anyway, so I figured I might as well do it on stream. And if other people show up, I'm happy to go back through the list. Is there any are there any names you want to go see again, or do you want me to flip through the list one more time? Some of these pictures are great. Maybe I'll just do a quick recap. All right, so we started with the joke that lasted more than I thought it would, but from the Red Wave, Mark Beavers. And then we got this swinger here, Gene Brabender, followed by Dick Burns. And I know there are probably names you're wondering about, but if they're batters, you're not going to see them till tomorrow. Guy Bush and Randy Bush. Of course, auto pick and title slide cover boy Doug Fister. Dick Fitz, who's not fooling anybody by changing his name to Richard. Charlie Fuchs. Seattle favorite Charlie Furbush. Fred can't look at this picture and not laugh. Sorry, Fred Galvin. Mel Harder. Mel Harder. Buck, Buck Hooker. Dick Hyde. Johnny Cucks. Cheeky's follow up on Johnny Cooks really cracked me up. Eddie Kuntz. So Charlie Fuchs and Eddie Kuntz, we're gonna have to keep Lap away from, I think. Dick Manville. Trey McNutt. The unrelated Dave and Seth Moorhead. Dick Pole. Elmer Sexauer. Urban Shocker. Bert Sincock. Liddell Cannonball Titcomb. Chen Ming Wang. Dick Wantz. And Fred Woodcock. I could not get through that list without laughing. I thought I could do it. I've been looking at these names for so long. I thought I am immune to laughing at them, but I could not make it through the list. All right, so we're gonna find all these players here. Hey Max, are you going on tonight? Am I raiding into you? Okay, awesome. Oh, my BREF is missing. There it is. Did you get ready for you? Okay. I am gonna put this notebook file together, but then I'll raid into you when I'm done with that. I've got to do it anyway, so I figure I'll do it on stream. Mark Beavers. All right. Looks like he's a minor leaguer. So we'll grab his ID. The minor leaguers have a different format ID. but we should still be able to look at his minor league stats and find his peak season. Let's see. It looks like his first season was his best season, 1986. There's his ID, 1986. And we're going to put him on the franchise time machine. Pay team. All right, next up is Gene Brabender. I say, get ready and get your coffee. I'll read in there as soon as I wrap this up. Gene Brabender did make it to the majors. I think we knew that because he has a PT 25 card. And let's get his peak season. Just make sure the dick doesn't fit. I can't. I have dick fits. 6-4 with a 1064 whip. We'll take this 1967 season. All right. All right. Our next one we got to find is Dick Burns. You made it to the last round of the draft with 4 seconds left. Awesome, Cheeky. Hey, when the clock runs out, you still have some buffer time. I don't know exactly how long, but almost every one of my speed drafts, the time runs out and I'm still picking, and then I've only gotten cut off like 1 or 2 times. I got to find Dick Burns. Chica, did you already know most of the names that I went over tonight? You knew 21 out of 26? That's pretty good. That's probably about how many I knew before I started really digging into things. Oh, we only have one season really to pick from. Oh, you drafted 21 out of 26. Oh, they didn't count your last round? That's a bummer. I'll be curious to see if this team is actually any good. Oh, I need two guys here, Guy and Randy. All right, we'll do Guy Bush first. I see this guy's name, Guy Bush, I think of those manscaping razor, electric razor commercials. Oh man, he's got a lot of seasons to pick from. This might be a good team if all the players are going to have this many good seasons to pick from. Which one's his best? We go by whip. You found your half brother on Baseball Ref today. Awesome, man. When did he pitch? Or when did he play? I mean, I think this might be his best year, 1926. Yeah, we're gonna grab this year, 1926. Randy Bush. Drafted in 90 and 92. If they played in, so did either make it to the majors? And then this is Randy Bush. He got banned for something. Did he play in the minors before he got banned? Wow, charging the mountains in. So if he played in the minors, he may be in the base game. Because when you start up a new season in the base game and you turn on the minors, it brings in the entire history, including minor league history. So you might find them in the game. That would be really cool if you could find them. It was a catcher protecting the pitcher, but took it way too far. Did not pass the psyche valve when coming back. That's a bummer. But yeah, look for him in the base game. Actually, when you do your Padres sim, when you get to those years, you should look for them. I mean, you could look now if you just set up a sim and dig around. Yeah, because the minors you can select fictional minors or real minors. So if you import the real minors, and then what you could do is you can just like promote them to the majors and just like let them play. I mean, they might hit like you know 150 because they're minor leaguers, but you can put them on your major league roster. Or you can go in editor and boost their levels so they can play in the majors. All right, we're gonna grab this. You might do it. Yeah, I think you should. I think that'd be fun. Or when you find them, maybe do a separate sim or something so it doesn't like mess up your Padre sim. But 1991. Oh man, that was fun. You guys are cracking me up. All right, who's next? Of course, Doug Fister. In fact, Cheeky, I'm gonna have to experiment with that anyway. So you can learn from me. You said your cheeks were starting to get sore from smiling and laughing at those. Yeah, me too. But I was having to try to keep a straight face because I had to talk through all this. Hey, Ezra Denny rating in. Appreciate the raid, Ezra. Hope the rest of your stream went well. Yeah, I will. I'll do a quick recap. So, what we are doing today is the roster reveal for our not safe for work names and from baseball history. And today we're looking at the pitchers. Giants beat the Cubs. September call up got his first save. Oh, awesome! That's great. Well, you're doing one game per stream, and you're already up to September. Wow. So that's what we're doing today, and I'll just run through real quickly. Oh, and it's her second season. Wow. So yeah, so these are the pitchers for the best not safe for work names that I could find. So we started with Mark Beavers, who pitched for the Red Wave minor league team. The next one would have got in on the strength of the name alone, I think, but when I found the pictures, he was a shoe in. It's Gene Brabender. This next one could be a name on the injury report or a condition on the injury report. And that would be Dick Burns. You did get modded. It's funny. Everyone was doing a great job, like keeping it clean but funny, but they were still getting auto modded like crazy. Oh, was it only two for you, Max? I think I guess since I had to do all of them, it just seemed like a lot. And then the next ones were unrelated, but Guy Bush and Randy Bush. And then, of course, from the title slide, but also just a no-brainer addition to the roster, Doug Fister. And then this guy, Double Bush, is it the set? Oh, I got some 70s action for you coming up. It's 1870s meets 1970s. This next player gets in despite having changed his first name to Richard. That would be Dick Fitz. And this is one of two names that chat acknowledged that we have to keep away from lap because they're only dirty if you mispronounce them. The first of those is Charlie Fuchs. And I guess I can skip ahead to the other one. The other one would be Eddie Kuntz. Oh, don't worry, Ezra. Dick Trickle is driving the bullpen cart from the bullpen to the mound. I've already considered Dick Trickle. This next one is also on the cover slide and a personal favorite of mine because I've seen him pitch so many times in Seattle. Charlie Furbush. Here's the 70s ones I was telling you about, Ezra. When I was introducing him, I said this picture could be an 1870s pitcher or a 1970s adult film star. Pud Galvin. Check out that picture. Oh, Ezra, yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I've been meaning to tell you that, and I thought, with everything you were saying, and tonight. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that there are people who appreciate the kinds of stuff you're talking about today. Yeah, the porn stash for sure. He's definitely got a hedgehog vibe to him in that picture. And then I mentioned that I wish I could have found players named Faster and Deeper to go with him, but I can only find Mel Harder. And then one of the best comments from chat when I introduced that you shouldn't go looking for deals when you go to Buck Hooker. Who was this better than her sister Penny Hooker? Was that Max? I have to scroll up now and see who said that. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. Oh, Dr. D said it. Yeah, Dr. Dynastic had some gems in there. $3 same as in town. All right, and then we've got Dick Hyde. Great name. And then Cheeky's follow-ups on this next one crack me up. We've got Johnny Cox. Where Cheeky asks, how and then we've got Dick Manville, Trey McNutt. Yeah, the asking for a friend also cracked me up. And then the unrelated Dave and Seth Moorhead. Waiting for the wonderful Twitch pushed ads to finish and then be ready whenever. Okay, cool, Max. And then again, another one where name and picture earn a spot here. Dick Pole. And then my joke for this next one was, what time is it? It's sex hour. Was I around when you did the story on the two pictures who swap wives? I don't think I was, but I do know the story. They were both Yankees, right? And they switched families. Did they switch entire families? All right, Max. I'll rate into you as soon as I finish up the rosters. It should go pretty quick. Most of these guys only have like one or two seasons, so the peak season will be easy to pick out. Yeah, and one was way more happy than the other. Oh yeah, cheeky. I grew up in New Jersey following the Mets, but also getting lots of Yankees news. And I think, although I think it was before my time, but it was such a legendary thing that like we all heard about it, even as kids. Yeah, it was absolutely real. Oh yeah, I got to finish the rest of the roster for the chat. This is a PT-24 card, and if you know what a shocker is, then it's you understand why it's on this roster. Urban Shocker, Bert Sincock, Liddell Cannonball Titcomb. Man, I didn't know you had two terms for it. That's great. That's much better than a rural shocker. See, when you're really funny, you don't need profanity. This chat has proven that. There are probably dozens, no doubt. No doubt. This one gets in just on the strength of all the times Lap has had said his name in different quotable ways. Chen Ming Wang. And then the player and unfinished sentence, Dick Wants. And finally, last but not least, Fred Woodcock. So those are the players, Ezra, and whoever came in on the raid. There was a little more kind of intro and chat involved, but really the main thing is seeing the names and the pictures. So that's what we're doing today, and then tomorrow we'll do the batters. Dick wants. And I'm gonna sim some of these games. I'm gonna the cheeky the batters are tomorrow. Um, I'm gonna sim these games and do play by play, which I think will be fun. I'm gonna do it for one or two games, and if it turns out to be really entertaining, I might keep doing it. Otherwise, I might just do a speed sim and send the season out. But I have a feeling calling commentary with these names is gonna be a lot of fun. And usually I turn injuries off and just take a 26-man roster, but I'm taking 50 players and turning injuries on because I want the players to kind of cycle in and out of the roster. You want to do a theme team called the Single Entendres? Who would be on the team? Play by play, but every time you laugh, you have to. Yeah, that could be an interesting one. Have to. Hmm. I don't think it's actually not the laughing. I think is your problem. I think it's be inadvertently saying something like when you combine some of the names. So yeah, I think we did 24 pitchers today, and we'll do 26 batters tomorrow. So I'm going to take 50 players into the season. Right. And Dick wants to find a hole here. Exactly. Things like that are going to just inadvertently spill out in the course of gameplay. So now we're just on to the more boring part, which is I'm populating this roster file. Ezra, I don't know if you've done any of this, but you can do a mass import of players if you build a text file that has the year of their stats that you want and then the destination team. Building that, so far I got up to Guy Bush and Randy Bush. Oh, hey Ezra, were you ever able to figure out the all Sandy Koufax team versus the um was it the all Willie Mays team? Yeah, you use their BRF number, um, which is also in the game. If you can find their profile in the game, you haven't yet. Okay, I posted a question in the forums on that because my recollection was they can have no rating and you can force them in there. Um, and Matt from the dev team replied that on the batter side, the AI won't put them in the lineup, but if you force the game to start, it'll force the AI to play them. But then I responded about the situation you had, Ezra, with your pitching staff, where I don't think it'll even let you advance to the stage where you could sim because it kept giving you the error message that you didn't have like you didn't have enough pitchers or something. So Matt's point was even if it doesn't look like the AI is going to let you play them. If you just start the game, it'll force the AI to do it. Um, but I don't know. I didn't know if you were able to get to that stage or not. I felt like you kept getting blocked. Where am I up to? I'm up to Bush. Dick Burns, Guy Bush. All right, Doug Fister. There we go. All right, so now I have to find this guy in BRF. Fister, I hardly know her. No, no one said, no one said that one yet. You're the first. Oh, check this out. Doug Fister's name, first five of the last, first of the is Fisted. Fisted O 01. Which of his seasons are we going to take here? Wow, I didn't realize he only pitched in Seattle for 2.5 seasons. But that 2010 season, I think, is the one where I went to a lot of games, so I got to see him pitch a ton. I must have gotten lucky too. He only pitched. Oh no, this is Fister. I'm thinking of Furbush. I watched Furbush pitch a lot. I don't think I saw Fister pitch in person. Here we go, eighth in Cy Young voting. We'll take that 2014 season. Fisted O 01. All right, and then all right, who's next? Oh, Dick Fitz. That was your AOL Instant Messenger name? Wait, which one? Dick Fitz or Doug Fister? Oh, he goes by Richard now. Richard Fitz. Sixteen 1601. AOL IMD. That's a good one. Oh man. All right. Man, it's hard to pick minor league stats because there's so many in one season. Okay, those are college stats. I don't think the game has college stats. Here is A ball with a .928 whip. We'll take that. Thank you very much. 2022. Look at that. He made it all up to AAA. And oh wait, he might make it to the majors. He's in AAA ball right now at Worcester. So we may see Dick Fitz in the majors. Nice. All right, so he's got a minor league ID. And we want to find his 2022 season. If he makes it to the majors, I am lobbying Sporer for a Dick Fitz card. You know, Ezra, inspiring, inspiring diverse people to stream is a double-edged sword now, because now you're getting stuff like this. Charlie Fuchs. You'd buy that Dick Fitz jersey? I would get a Dick Fitz jersey. All right, Charlie Fuchs is next. If a Fuchs ever played hockey, then Lap won't mess up the pronunciation. I still can't get over that Pud Galvin picture. All right, let's see. Which of these terrible seasons are we going to grab here? I guess the lowest whip, which would be 1943. Oh, he was a wartime player. He must have been playing while everyone was gone. And then when everyone came back, he did not last. All right, so we got Charlie Fuchs. Who are we looking for next? Oh, of course, Charlie Furbush. He's the guy I saw pitch a bunch of times. Fuchs that don't last are never welcome. Or you could give zero Fuchs. There he is, left-handed relief pitcher. There we go. Ooh, look at that .950 whip in 2012. And that's not a small sample size, 48 innings. Ooh, this 2015 is really good too. It's a smaller sample size, but it's still 33 games. .646 whip, 187 ERA plus. I'll take that, thank you very much. 2015. Ezra, did you see any of these players that were on the list play in person? Or did you remember like ever seeing them on TV or anything? There he is again, Pud Galvin in all his mustache glory. Oh yeah, Dick Pohl's a pitching coach. Was he Giants pitching coach? Does BREF not keep catcher stats for throwing runners out? Is it not in the advanced fielding table, Cheeky? I think there's an advanced fielding table. He was okay. Yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember that. Dick Pole. Was it the kind of thing where it just became everyday Ezra, so no one noticed anymore how funny the name was? Can I show you advanced fielding table? Yes. It may not exist though. I might be thinking of the advanced batting table, but let's take a look. Um, let's, let's find a catcher. We'll use Pudge. Okay, so advanced batting, standard fielding. Oh, okay. There is no advanced fielding. There's advanced batting, and for pitchers, there's advanced pitching. But I guess there is no advanced. No, wait, fielding, advanced stats. So I don't know if you can see that I went to. No, no, look. If I go to this nav bar here, fielders, finders, and advanced stats, there is a fielding advanced stats. I don't think I've been to this though, so let me see what it has. Standard fielding, sabermetric fielding, appearances, advanced fielding. So this is your framing stuff, I guess, the pitching stats, putouts, assists. So throwing runners out would be assists, but this is also going to probably have any 2-3 putouts. So, oh, you think you might not be trying? Oh, are you looking up your buddy? Oh, here's caught stealing percentage. Advanced fielding base running. It's its own table. Oh, your brother, yeah, your half brother, step brother, half brother, I think you said. So, oh, they even have it by base. Steals of second base, caught stealing second base, steals of third base, caught stealing third base. So yeah, they have it. It's just this clunky way to navigate to it. So yeah, I guess you just have to go through this horizontal bar to advanced stats. You're not seeing the same bar options? Is it because you're looking at a minor leaguer, maybe? Oh, you seriously ignored the Dick Pole name? Right. Pud. Yalvipa 01. That's right. I'm still on the verge of laughing every time I think about your AOL Instant Messenger joke. All right. Pud Galvin's a Hall of Famer, so he must have some good seasons to pick from. All right. I'm seeing a lot of black ink here for 1883. Led the league in games started, complete games, innings, batters faced. But actually, his best whip season was the year after. 12 shutouts the year after. We're grabbing that season. 1884. Pud Galvin, 1884. All right. Who is next? Mel Harder. Yeah, Ezra, you mentioned Dick Trickle. I actually have somewhere still in its original blister packaging, a Dick Trickle like Hot Wheels Matchbox car that I bought when I used to live in the southeast. They had lots of NASCAR stuff, and I found a. I wanted to buy more, but I can only find one at the store. All right, let's see. One of these All Star seasons, probably a classic Sports Center joke. Yes. MVP 16 the year before. All right, we'll take the higher ERA plus. So we'll take this 1934 season. I noticed on Sports Center because I usually watch the morning Sports Centers. They used to do outside the lines every morning, and they've stopped doing that, which is kind of too bad. They had some really good pieces. I was amazed they were able to do so many because they're doing like four or five a week outside the lines. Yeah. Do you know if they cut that outside the lines completely? Because they would do like a short version in like the 9 a.m. Sports Center, which I really liked. They always had really cool stories. All right, here we go. Buck Hooker. That Penny Hooker joke is a good one. It's funny. I feel like we saw a side of Dr. D that we don't get to see on his stream. Were you able to find your your brother's catching stats? Oh, you did? Awesome. Oh, yeah, Dr. D. Yeah, he gave up. Well, if he's in the game, he'll have an arm rating and stuff. I'm gonna take that 1902 season. So, Chief, you remember how when Twins and I were helping you uh build your Padres save? Oh, your dad said no one ever stolen him, so you're interested to see the stats. Don't let the stats get in the way of the mythology, man. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is with a lot of these players, they only had one season, one or two seasons. So if I chose a mode that had recalc, um, after their one or two seasons, they would become basically like non-functional players because their ratings would go so low because they weren't active players. So by using that, what's it called, career mode, whichever mode it is that doesn't do the recalc and just the projections, um, it would then start developing them towards their potential number instead of like having them zero out because they retired or stopped playing or were like exposed as not being good enough, as they advance through the minors and stuff. All right, who was after Buck Hooker? Oh yeah, Dick Hyde. Yeah, yeah, Penny. Oh, you can welcome Ezra to the club. He got auto modded. Well, my point, Ezra, was maybe that's an area where you don't want to look for a bargain. Oh, look at that. He's got a season with some black ink. MVP 12? Yeah, it was a baller. Led the league in saves. 1.136 whip. He's got pitching like the Terminator. That's awesome. So the 1958 season is what we want. I mean, some of these names, I mean, don't the parents realize what they're doing when they name their kid Dick Hyde? Oh, this is OTL from Cheeky. OTL Saturday show canceled after 33 years. Brand will live on other platforms. Yeah, so I thought the other platforms were within SportsCenter, but where you're quoting them, they're saying be a segment within SportsCenter. I haven't seen it like in maybe 6 months. Oh, ESPN's YouTube channel. It was a simpler time, Ezra. There's a great Saturday Night Live skit where Nicolas Cage and his wife are sitting on the couch discussing baby names, and every time the wife suggests a name, Nicolas Cage like shoots it down. Like she's like, what about John? We can name the baby John. It's like, no, you can't name him John. Like everyone's gonna be like, I gotta go to the John, or I gotta take a leak in the John. And then he's doing that with every name she suggests. And you're like, okay, well, what's going on here? And then there's a knock at the door, and there's a delivery man, and he says, I've got a delivery here for Asswipe Johnson. And Nick Cage goes, it's Osweepe! And that's the punchline. So I always think of that skit whenever I hear a funny name. Johnny Cucks. All right, Johnny Cucks. Which of your, well, let's, you know what I was surprised I didn't find? There were all the dicks and the bushes, but I didn't find any uh, BJs that were funny. Like there were a couple of BJs in BREF, but none that had like the last name to put it over the top. There was a commercial with a guy in an interview for mispronounced his name. Shit. The guy says it's Chef Feed. Oh no, wait. Are you thinking of Mr. Dumbass? And then the interviewer's like, it's Dumas. I do remember one that had the dumbass Dumas. Or Dumas. Dumas. That one as well. All right. Talk to J001. You're on the team with your man. Johnny Cox had an 18 win season. This is going to be a solid team. 1956 stats. We'll take your 1956 stats. There's some players on this team. I mean, it's not going to be like adding four Willie Mays to the Mets, but it's going to be pretty good. Cheeky man, you really got me with your Johnny Cucks jokes, though. Those were good. Because they weren't super obvious, but like they were like right in the wheelhouse, though. That was great. Like asking how the wife looks is such a roundabout way to get to that joke. It was perfect. Yeah, Dirty D, Dr. D was on fire with his comments, that's for sure. I started looking in the chat wondering, you know how Laptop Hound has that Laptop Q Hound uh person in his chats? I was like, is this a Dr. Dynastic with like one letter changed or something? Because it didn't seem like him. Okay, you only have one season to give us, which is 2008. So a lot of these guys, because I'm just picking by their names, are like Eddie Kuntz here, where he only had one season, and it was not a good one. So we're going to grab what we can. 2008. All right, man. Dick Manville. I think the Dick thing is interesting because they could be like Dick Fitz and just change the name to Richard, but I guess I kind of admire that they keep plowing on as like Dick Trickle and Dick Pole. And there was that, I think he was either U.S. Olympic Committee or International Olympic Committee head. His name was Dick Pound. They stick to it. They don't bail and go to Richard. Now let's see. Do we take the 19? All right, we'll take the 1.5 whip over the 2.176 whip, I guess. Well, I don't know if we can do that. He only pitched 2 innings. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to take that 1950 season. There's also a thing, Cheeky, when you do your franchise mode. Um, the default is it like penalizes the player's performance if their stats are based on like below some threshold. I think it's like 200 at bats or 50 innings. I usually take that way down, especially the innings, because like you can have a reliever play 30 games and only have like 25 innings. So and I don't want that player getting watered down. So I usually take that innings number and cut it down to like 10 or 15, and the at bats I usually take down to 50. because I don't want it. I mean, I don't want some dude who had 50 at bats and 8 home runs just rampaging through the league either. But um, I don't know. I try to strike a balance on that. All right, I think I got about as far as I'm going to get on this roster thing for tonight, and I got to get the slides ready for tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna raid you guys over into Max. But thanks for joining us for the roster reveal. Let me put that title slide back up, or our pitchers roster reveal. Hope everyone had fun. I know the chat was lively today, and I laughed a lot. So hope everyone had as good of a time as I did. Man, my my stomach's still a little sore from all the laughing. You're welcome for the auto modding fiesta, Ezra. And Cheeky, you're looking forward to the battle reveal? Good, I'm glad. I'm glad. It's been fun putting this together. And I hope the play-by-plays go well. Um let's see if we can raid into Max LP80. Yeah, Cheeky's right, Ezra. If you're getting auto modded, you're doing it right. That's absolutely true. Did I do his did I enter his address his name wrong? Alright, there's Max. I'm gonna copy his username. And I'm going to try to raid into him. Raid. See, Cheeky, I think it's doing that thing again where it doesn't think I'm logged in. I found a way to test for it though. If I go to my Twitch inventory page, I now try to keep some unclaimed drops because if it won't let me claim them, it means it thinks I'm not logged in. Yeah, it's not letting me claim them, so it's doing that thing again. Do I have chat in OBS? Oh, I do have chat in OBS. Should I try it in here? But when I try to change like the episode title and stuff in OBS, I run into the same problem. But I will. That's a good idea, though. I'm gonna try it. Oh, you're a genius. It worked. Thanks, Cheeky. All right, thanks for coming, everybody. Hopefully, I'll see some of you tomorrow for the batters reveal. I'm gonna raid us into Max LP 80.